Yo, what is up, guys? We are back with the next episode of our series where we're trying to build the best anime. Today, you're going to be deciding who is the best main character in all of anime. Now, before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Now, we have already decided on the setting, the best setting, which is the setting from Eden Zero. Now we're deciding the main character. Now, to start it off, we got the C and the D tier. Now, before we get into the specifics of these tiers, let me get into the criteria. The criteria for this list is my personal kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Qualifications of what I think a great main character is. Now, this isn't necessarily like who's my favorite character out of these, although it'll be pretty similar. It's about who I think has the best qualities of a main character. And we'll get more into what exactly those qualities are in a second, but without further ado, let's get into this tier list. D tier main characters I think that suck. Oh, and it also should be noted that only characters that are the main characters of their shows are being considered for this list, obviously. Now, D tier main characters I don't think are very good. Eren Yeager, he's a real cornball, he's a dirtbag, he's a bad guy. Midoriya, he's a crybaby. Kind of same thing with that. I just started Hitman Reborn, and now I'm not off to a strong start with that guy. C tier, I'm not going to go through everybody, obviously, but the gist of C tier is I think that these main characters are pretty good. I mean, I like all these. From C tier up, I like all these guys, but it's just they're not particularly my cup of tea when it comes to a main character per se. They have kind of problems. Like Melio, just kind of too much of a pervert. Atsushi starts off as kind of a wimp. You know, kind of small stuff like that. Just just little minor details. Jeez Louise. But yeah, so that's C tier. B tier, I'm not going to get through it. It's just I think these guys are just good main characters. You know, nothing real much to say about them. They're good, but not particularly what I'm looking for in a main character if I'm trying to make the best anime series of all time. Now we're getting into A and S tier. Now for this series of videos, A and S tier are pretty much the same tier. Like these are all great characters. These are all top tier, my favorite main characters of all time. But it's just S tier I think are the guys that are mostly what I'm looking for in a main character. Now here's a little bit of a bullet point list of what I'm looking for in a main character. You gotta be strong. I mean, you don't have to be like overpowered or anything, but you gotta be a strong guy. You gotta have, some grit to you, a little bit of toughness. You gotta be a tough guy. You can't be a wimp. You gotta be manly. You gotta have a little bit of, I like that kind of shonen the shonen trope of like the stupid but strong character, kind of like Luffy, obviously why he's in S tier. I like that trope. Luffy is honestly a little bit maybe too stupid to be honest to be a perfect main character, but I still put him in S. But yeah, as much as I want the main character to be like cool and tough, he's also got to have like a little bit of funny, like there's got to be like a little bit of comedic moments to him. Like that's a reason Ichigo's in A tier, not in S tier. Like he's a little bit of that too cool for school attitude, a little bit. I mean, not that there's anything wrong, he's still a top tier character, obviously why he's in A, but yeah, that's what kept him out of S tier. But anyway, let's look who is in S tier. We got Hinamaru from Hinamaru Zuma, which is a sports anime, but he really does embody a lot of what I'm looking for in a main character. I put Cygnus Yoga in S tier, even though he's not even a main character. I just wanted to show him a little bit of love because he's my favorite Saint Seiya character, which is kind of stupid now that I think about it. But yeah, so he's not seriously being considered. I just wanted to give him a little bit of shout out. But we got Luffy, got Natsu, we got Seiya from Saint Seiya, Toriko from Toriko, and then you can't really see him because the freaking logo's in the way, but we got Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. These are all guys that I think are as close. Of course, there's no such thing as a perfect main character, but are as close to perfect as I could think to get pretty much. Obviously, I'm gonna take Hinamaru out just because he is a sports anime protagonist. It's hard to really figure out how he would handle an anime of a different type. Hyoga's obviously not actually being seriously considered. He's not even a main character. Luffy, like I said earlier, maybe a little bit too much on the stupid, silly side. Natsu's a strong contender. Sei is a strong contender. Yusuke might have a little bit too much of an attitude. So maybe we'll put it down to between Natsu, Seiya, and Toriko. I think I'm going to go with Toriko. I've made a video before how I think he's a main character, the best main character in anime. He's pretty close to, if you watch Toriko, you see he really checks every single box that I just mentioned. So I think if we're building the perfect anime, the main character I'm going to pick is Toriko. Okay, so now we've got the setting, got the main character, setting at Eden Zero again. Main character is going to be Toriko. Next episode, we're going to be figuring out the side character cast. Now, make sure, again, if you watch this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you watched it this far, you have to hit the like button. You must have liked it long enough to watch it for 6 minutes. I'm just saying. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode of this series. And, I'll say again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And, I hope you have a great rest of your day, you son of a